You're listening to the Saturday Night Gaming Podcast, Project Paradox. Hope you enjoy.
What? Didn't want to roll any kind of perceptions or anything? I don't want to barrel roll you all over here.
I'm probably going to do stealth to basically try and keep him from realizing that I'm following him,
Right.
even though
Give me a roll on that.
he doesn't seem to care. $16.
14.
For perceiving,
Mm-hmm.
you somehow manage not to be seen by him.
Nice. However,
You do seem to be making some noise as you're walking through, but he seems to be so focused on whatever it is that he's doing,
yeah,
could care less that you exist.
which in itself seems odd.
Now, as you're walking forward, you continually just like trying to pull your feet up. It's almost like an effort to get your feet out of the mud to keep stepping forward. And then you're slamming them back down again. And as you do, you hear this crunch as like something snapping under your foot. But it doesn't seem like wood, like a twig that snapped. It's like a strange crunch. And you look down as you're like pulling your foot back up again and moving forward, and you can tell that there's something mixed into this muddy sludge that looks off-white. Like little broken pieces of eggshell, maybe.
And I'm so focused on him that I'm not paying attention to any of that.
Man.
I mean, you can reach down and grab whatever it is and pull it up if you want to. It wouldn't. If you want to find out what it is without investigating it further, that's perception roll. But if you want to pull it out and see what it is, that's a little different.
Is it a god?
He would, well, at this point, it would pique his curiosity, just as like, what the hell is this?
All right.
He'd pick it up, look
All
at
right.
it.
So basically, you'd have to stick your hand into the sludge a little bit, but you quickly feel something that's more solid, almost sharp. You pull it forth, and as you do, you would notice that it is a skull.
Oh.
What you broke as you stepped down was a skull. As you pull it up, you can tell it's humanoid. It's a very human skull. Size, shape would be most likely an adult male. And the coloration, it's probably been here more than a day. At least as far as your knowledge of the studying of bones goes.
Long enough to become a skull.
I toss it behind me.
A skull flies past your head.
I'm guessing I would recognize that it is a skull as I'm dodging.
It'd be like flying right at your face. Like
Whoa.
a haunted ghost of sludge skull just flying at you.
I'm guessing I can dodge it pretty easily.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. I just tossed it behind
You
me
just-
like a softball.
And that's when, as you continue to move forward, you can tell that there's crunch, crunch, crunch. There's a breaking of bone under your feet in the sludge. As you move forward, you can feel it as well.
Yeah. How easy would it be for me to get myself up into a tree? Like, are there branches close to the ground?
There'd be like kind of like hanging limbs, drooping limbs
From the willow
with
type.
like vines and stuff.
I'm gonna try and use one of those to get myself up into a tree.
Okay.
And see if I can run the branches like I saw the trolls doing.
Mm-hmm.
Using my psychophysiology, by the way. Oh boy. That is a 4 plus 1 is 5 plus 9 is 14.
All right, so you grab a hold of one of the vines. And you start shimmying up.
Yeah.
Like trying to get higher and higher, but you realize that as you're doing it, it's
pulling
drooping down further into the muck and mire. And, you know, it seems to want to give in to whatever this pestilence is in this area.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just helping it die easier into the sludge and the bog.
Right.
And you would probably hear this if you look back, you'd probably easily see him just trying to scramble up a vine.
Trying to scramble up a vine that's continually getting me closer to the water.
I do that. Just
Keep walking.
And I keep walking forward.
All right, so as you continue to walk forward, now you begin to hear a melody, a chorus almost of wails. The bellowing isn't like what you would hear from a man that you've gutted. It isn't that sharp.
Mm-hmm.
It's more dreary, like they're trying their best to hold on to hope. It's just this sickbed wail.
I'm gonna see if I can perceive what it is and put it out of its misery.
All right.
Take its mind off the pain a little bit.
Shoot you in the leg so you forget your hand.
I take your mind off that pain, boy.
That was a great movie.
How's the little engine that could?
I forgot to roll the magic effect. Oh wait, no, this is just perception, Ron.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
How'd you do?
Oh, thank God. 7
Oh, you
Total?
were about to shoot yourself
Total.
in the foot.
perception.
Yeah, so you just feel like the entire area is echoing this same moaning, sickly song. They all seem to rhythm in with each other. There are different voices, different tones.
It doesn't remind me of the siren.
No.
Okay.
But you are more than allowed to try and roll perception yourself.
Yeah, I will. 20.
You look all around.
Uh-huh.
Look to the trees, look to the skies, look all around the horizon. And you don't see anybody that would be singing out or crying out or moaning or bellowing. And you look down and then you realize that there are faces floating in the muck.
Uh-huh.
Each of them crying in pain as you look and see that their skin is festering and blistered. Their eyes are sickly yellow. Their teeth are rotten in their mouths, but they are there floating in this swamp, this bog. And you look forward and notice that they are all around his feet too. Some hands are slowly just kind of patting out of the mud, trying to grab, but showing no energy.
I'm going to yell out to you that, get out of the water. It's the water. It's moaning. Spirits in the water.
It's moaning muck!
And at the same time, I'm going to try and
I'm going to try and get out of the bog.
Okay.
I'm going to try and...
Speed up, maybe. I'm going to try and bounce off the faces.
Do you have athletics or...
Yes.
Okay, so use athletics and roll that through your dex.
Try and use psychokinesis on myself to
Do
launch
I
me
want to...
up towards the trees.
Do I want to chip, or do I want to say myself? Okay, I can't go down like this. I can't go down like a chump, man.
All right. Go ahead and give me a reroll.
Alright,
Good thing you had so many tokens.
That is
that is not even better. Give me my token
20
back.
exactly.
Unfortunately, it's not how it works.
That is a 20 exactly to try and use
Wait, is it still a 1?
No, it's not.
Okay.
to try and use psychokinesis to launch
It's 16
myself
altogether.
towards the tree limb
How much
that
did
I
you
was
do?
trying to climb towards. 20 exactly.
20 exactly. And what did you roll?
16 altogether.
16 isn't the worst. I mean, there's some success
I
there.
rolled a 3.
It's a good thing you had all those other points.
I basically did like Neo in the Matrix and just and then launched myself on a bubble of force.
All right. So you hear him explode forth from the sludge, and as you look back to see him springing out of all of the muck, you see the thick mud and everything flying everywhere, and as it does, you see bodies and bones being flung about as well, as he shoots into the limbs of the trees and manages to grab hold of a solid one. You, too, begin to try and run forward to get out of the bog. You do successfully begin to run as you are stepping on face after face. They moan louder as you get closer, and of course as you leave, too. And you keep running forward fast, and you notice that he is moving into the distance at pretty good speed. Until you see that something is rising out of the mud in front of you. Ahead, at first. Slowly rising forth. But it doesn't stop with just the head. It continues to grow forth until you see shoulders, chest, and more.
Am I able to get close enough in the trees to help?
This guy has been mean to me.
This one's going in jail.
Oh,
Hello.
Yeah, you would be close enough to see that this is rising out of the sludge.
Okay.
What you see before you is a man, or it seems to be a man's visage, in dingy green robes that almost blend into the sludge that surrounds him. Blistered and wrinkled, old, diseased flesh. Eyes covered with bindings. It continues to grow. I mean, this is
Shoot first, ask questions later.
3 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot, 6 foot, growing.
Wow, he's like almost twice as tall as me already.
All right, so shoot first, ask questions later.
That is much better. Thank you. Thank you, Di. Thank you. That one knew it was go to jail if it rolled badly. The other one's like, I've been to jail before. Ain't no problem for me.
Ain't no thing but a chicken wing.
Alright, so I did the Chaos Enchantment, and I rolled a Frost.
All right.
And this is going to be 30.
Nice. All right, so you're pulling out the sniper, shooting.
Mm-hmm.
What are you aiming for?
I mean, the face.
All right. So you're yelling out to him, I guess?
I was moving closer. I wasn't sure if I had actually made it close enough to actually do anything yet.
Uh-huh.
Did I need to roll to stay in the trees?
Well, at this point, you're just yelling out to him, right? You're trying to move.
I was trying to move close enough.
Okay,
to
so
actually,
yeah, roll if you have acrobatics or athletics.
I was going to use my psychophysiology.
So using the psychophysiology to replace that.
13 plus 9 is 22.
All right. So currently, you are maintaining your footing in these trees, even though you can tell that they are covered in some mossy growth and nastiness. But you're getting closer towards him as you see he reaches back. Now, did you add in for the gauntlet?
The gauntlet, you just added in for damage.
You added in for the damage?
Oh, the damage would just be damage of the gauntlet's 5. I didn't know there was anything for rolling.
Your power is pumping into... So the power from that is pumping into your sniper rifle. The chaos magic that you use to power it. This is somehow boosting that chaos magic.
Yeah, it'd be 15 altogether.
On the damage?
On damage.
Okay. Yeah. So as you see him reach back and grab hold of his sniper rifle and then whip it around as this thing is just steadily growing in front of him. And you see like the air is so dense and moist that it actually... You see the ripple
frost.
Out. And then the frost freezing the particles of air as they kind of snow down around the trail of the bullet towards this thing as it blazes right into the side of its face and just blasts a chunk free from it.
Uh-huh.
And then when you see it coming back, the skeletal remains that are there in that chunk are beginning to freeze and grow with ice as the lips steadily part, but they're being frozen and frostbitten, so they actually like pry themselves broken as it's reaching its mouth open. Who dares come this close to Samiel?
You're a little far away, and I'm having trouble reading your lips.
Oh.
His teeth begin to clatter back and forth. Who are you, you pestilent bug?
You're deaf. As I reload.
Death, he says. As you see the sludge coming up further around him and then moving back around his face as it begins to form across his body.
I'm going to yell out to Bones, catch! Before you reload.
Okay.
And throw my mana brick. My last mana brick.
Oh no.
I think you got 3 shots out of the last one.
6.
Oh. This seems like a mana level threat.
Oh no.
A slime finger level threat. So I'm going to try and add more mana.
Is there a problem? Throw mana at it.
Yeah. That is my last brick, by the way. And Zazzle would probably kill me for giving that to you.
Alright,
I
so
yell.
you're in the trees throwing a mana brick to him.
Yeah. Do I need to roll for that to get it to him, or what do we assume? If I'm taking my turn to do it.
Yeah, if you're taking your turn to do it, that seems fair enough. You were successfully footed in the trees, so...
Okay.
Yeah, he's taking his turn to throw the brick to you.
Okay.
As you look forward, you would see what now stands before you in a hardened shell of dark armor underneath his cloaks. The face actually grows into what looks like a crow's beak, as it is covered in this ghoulish mask. Oof.
I'm gonna load the mana brick.
Incidentally, I'm not actually recognizing this as a god. I'm recognizing this similar to the Siren lady, as like a monster that used to be probably a human.
All right. So for me now, since you're in the ground and have the attention, would you be rolling? How would you be rolling any kind of evasion? Would you evade with Dex, or would you try to absorb
Dex.
anything? Okay, so go ahead and give me an evasion roll.
That
Is
is
it like a
going to be
ranged projectile going at him?
28.
Oh, never mind.
28.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so with a 28, it's not a failure. Not a success, though. That's
I was
going
to try and give him assistance with the psychokinesis if it was a projectile. That's what I was asking.
Not a projectile.
Okay.
So you start moving fast because you feel something odd with the soil, the muck that you're in, as it begins to pull. Like if you were standing on a beach during tide. The tide pulls, and you feel the gravity of it as it's pulling towards, and then before it crashes into a wave. So you start running. Obviously, you're trying to like move to get a better vantage point against this thing, but it does have a bit of a grip on you. Now you've managed to get away from him and any damage, but you have lost your footing and are now prone on the ground.
Prone on the ground? Well, I mean, snipers like to be prone on the ground.
All right, so you want to try and use that to your advantage to roll into a firing position?
Yeah.
Okay, do me a favor and just, since you're prone, roll that at a disadvantage and take the lesser of the two.
Take the lesser of the two?
Yeah.
Roll a disadvantage?
Yeah, so just roll twice and take the lesser.
Okay.
And you can use one of your chips to lower the benchmark if you want to.
Or to remove the disadvantage. Because it can give advantage, which would cancel out the disadvantage. Right?
You could. I mean, I think it's probably more beneficial if you lowered your benchmark. But.
Probably. He didn't decide to do that, though.
Alright, so 17. That'd be a 20. Altogether.
You rolled that with your dex?
Yeah.
All right. So you're not able to get into a firing position. You're noticing that the muck is starting to grab hold of you as you're trying to roll further to get into a firing position. You do notice that it's like almost like it's latching onto you. The bones and the bodies and the hands that are now grabbing out from the soil, and they're moaning in your face as they're saying, "Join us, misery." You would see that he is, I mean, like these things are steadily latching out onto him. Whatever this thing is just standing there in the midst of it, glowing an eerie green.
Trying to decide if distracting it is the best option or trying to basically make a psychokinetic burst near him to get the muck off of him.
This is when I would freak out and use Chaos Mary.
I think I'm probably going to try and distract the big dude with like a psyblast at his face.
All right.
Unfortunately, I don't have chips, so this is just going to be as good as it is. which 25 is not super bad.
25 total?
Yeah.
All right. So, partial success. You basically just throw in a bunch of force right at this creepy crow mask that just grew around his face.
And then I'm going to try and run back along the tree branch. Basically, shoot and move.
All right. So, with the partial success, you are able to blast into his face.
Yeah.
But also, because it's only partial, as you try to maneuver away, you notice that tendrils of...
Like little vines or something.
More like the sludge bound together with the bones, giving it consistency. The broken bones of the dead, giving it consistency as it latches out onto the tree branches that you're running along and start pulling them down.
Oh.
It hasn't crashed you to the ground yet, but your footing is definitely at risk.
Okay.
Now he is distracted, paying attention to this little mite.
Mm-hmm.
Chaos Mary.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if that bodes well or not. I rolled 4-2. Oh, I get haste.
Nice.
I gain a D4 duration and may take an extra action each turn.
All right, go ahead and give yourself a D4 and make your maneuver.
All right, so in other words, I gain the superpower of panic.
Adrenaline. Yeah.
All right. So,
I'm here to kill gods, not climb through a crypt. Who knew?
did I erase the?
I came to kill gods and consume mana, and I'm all out of mana bricks.
Yeah, I came to kill gods and consume mana. That's the tagline for this whole campaign.
The mana brick. Have I loaded that into the gun yet?
I would assume.
I threw it to you just before you reloaded,
Okay.
so that you would go ahead and use that to load.
Well, I don't want to accidentally kill myself
With
fire.
chaos?
Yeah, so I'm not going to do. He won't do that.
That's half the fun. Oh wait,
He's gonna
wrong character. Sorry.
He's going to try and.
Let me get out of Slime Finger. It's so easy here.
What do I have in magic?
Actual magic. This will be new. I don't think I've seen you use much.
Oh, outside of the gun?
Outside of the gun.
Yeah.
Of course, I only met you because Brigida's friend knows you.
Okay.
He is basically like a warlock assassin.
All right, so I'm going to use Soul Disruption around the goo around me.
I got two friends that have body explosion.
Go ahead.
Oh no. This is why you banked those, huh?
Yes! Boss fights! It's even worse! You're in jail now.
What happened?
You in jail now.
Hey, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana.
So that's going to be 14, 15 altogether.
It's half.
But you're using this to attack the gook, correct?
Yes, the gook.
Okay.
Oh, that's
a different.
that's way better.
Yeah, I'm not attacking the dude, I'm attacking the gook that's around me.
All right, so you do, as you're sitting here and you're You're actually looking at these faces rising up out of the muck towards you, and they're moaning at you, and they're calling you to join them. You can see these blisters and pestilent oozing pores and ratty old skin that's kind of like barely hanging onto their bones as they're like getting closer and closer to you and like pulling you in, and this basically just drives you crazy. You're just like, ah! And then you push back against the ground, and everything in front of you seems to disintegrate in like a circle just around you. It's like a bubble of decay for the decay. It wipes away the death. And now you are at least kneeling in just regular soil. But the sludge does seem to be coming back in again. So like as you've burned away what was holding on to you, you are free. But the soil is coming, it is being filled back with this bog sludge as Samiel now has given you his attention again. You have called his attention down. Now, both need to roll some form of evasion. You are being looked at by the big bad. You are being grabbed at by the sludge stuff.
Okay, I don't know why I brought you out of jail. You go back in jail.
I'm using the battle precog on this, by the way. 16, 25, 28.
Setting up precog action?
It's a battle precog.
Okay.
So I'm using the battle precog to predict what's happening and move ahead of it. The way I did whenever my first level ability.
So not your revert time?
Not
precog?
the revert time. No.
Okay, so just your advanced ability to see what's coming.
Yeah.
Okay. 28? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
All right. You, sir. Just say no to kryptonite.
Yeah, it's a 17 altogether.
But it's such a good song.
All right. So basically, as you're running along the tree branch, you see these sludgy things kind of like reaching out and ripping the tree branch down. You're managing to jump from one to another and try to get to the base of a tree. You've got like your blade stuck into the side of it and your feet perched along it. So you're like kind of hanging off as you look down and see a rush. So when there's an undertow, there's eventually a wave.
Yeah.
And you see the sludge rise up
To come back at
and
me.
then crescendo as it crushes back down in a full force wave against Bones.
And I didn't succeed well enough to actually help him.
No. But you succeeded enough to not fall into it yourself.
Okay.
As you see this wave of death and sludge and pestilence actually crash into him, and he seems to be, you can't really see what happens. You just see the wave continue at that point. As for you, sir, that would be before armor, so you can use your DR to absorb. That's coming in at 6. Oof. Heavy attack, but not amplified. All right.
You're
and
wearing
back
a helmet, right? You're wearing a helmet, right?
with a breathing apparatus.
That's real good.
All right, go ahead. I believe that would leave you with initiative right now, since you're free.
Okay. I am going to try and use a blast of psychokinesis to split the wave that just crashed over and see if I can help him out of it.
Okay.
Would that just count as an assist on him escaping, or me actually attacking it?
This would be kind of like when he attacked the sludge.
So similar.
You're attacking the sludge itself, not the entity, but the sludge.
Yeah. But I was just making sure it wasn't going to It wasn't better if it worked as an assist for him.
At this point, you're just trying to clear him out of it.
Okay. Right. Still not bad. 19 plus 3 is 22.
All right, that's not too bad. Okay, so for you, Bones, as you feel the rush of this tide, bodies are like actually being flung against you. You're thrown back, and that's when you feel the tree at your back. You just slam straight into it as this tide begins to then just part in front of you and divert on either side of you. So the initial slam into the tree is what hurt. But after that, it seems like everything else is being diverted away from you.
It's like I'm knifing it.
All right, well, I'm going to take a shot with my sniper rifle.
And you would hear, "Give it everything you got, boy. Burn it with fire. Nah, I say crush him. Crush him in the head with chaos."
That's going to be 23. Knock that down. So it's at least a partial. Electric.
And it does have...
Add up all the
mana
damage for me. You got a mana brick, so that doubles. You've got the gauntlet, which adds 5.
Yeah, so that's going to be a, hold on,
So don't do the mana brick until you've done the rest of it.
25 altogether.
25 is a double.
Yeah.
Oh, because the gauntlet adds after.
Yeah, gauntlet adds after. So it's 25.
Nice.
All right, so
So I have 5 shots left.
right now
Mana
you
brick.
are at partial success.
23 out of 25, I'm thinking.
Yeah, he rolled a 23.
I'm hoping it's a 25 benchmark. Since it's definitely been
Wait,
30
it's a
at least.
Wait, it's not using my mana because
Yeah, you're
It's
not using
mana
the
brick.
mana from the shots, no.
this is great.
Because the brick's doing it for you.
Yeah.
All right, so you'll do partial damage to him.
Okay. And I do have another action.
You do.
I'm taking another shot.
All right, go ahead.
So you get slammed up against a tree, and then suddenly it parts, and you go, pow pow! You want to drop that benchmark again? Or can he drop it on 2 separate actions?
There are 2 separate actions.
So he should be able to drop it again.
If he wants to.
Yeah. I'll drop it again.
All right. Oh, my stack of red chips is growing.
Yeah. He stopped using that die.
Oh, that's a different one. I don't know what that one is. He wanted fire. There's fire.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Give him fire. Burn him.
31.
Nice. So you lowered the benchmark and you rolled a 31?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, that's going to give full 25 damage with a burning aspect. Okay,
So he almost dodged that first one, and then
yeah. So what you would see from your vantage point against the tree is you've successfully made the sludge part around him.
Yeah.
And he pushes off against the tree behind him, grabbing that sniper rifle, bolt back. I mean, you can tell that there's like a grimace, determination to him. Even though you can't see his face, you can tell it's probably twisted in anger. As he then takes aim, and you see lightning strike forth. So what you're already parting is now completely burned in half by this lightning strike that goes through. and strikes into the chest of this creature. As it steps back and looks up in confusion and almost like disgust, like, who are you? A second round comes through, just and fire burns as it almost whizzes around, like looking like a dragon almost, and then bites directly into the face of this thing as fire explodes all around him.
Wow.
And if you want to find out what happens next, you have to tune in next time. For the same Saturday Night Gaming time on the same Saturday Night Gaming channel, this is Tony bringing you Project Paradox. Find out what happens to Bones, find out what happens to Zix, and what about the rest of our party? Who knows? You have to tune in. You have to click like, share, and subscribe. It keeps them alive. Until next time.
I hope you liked this week's episode of Project Paradox. If you did, make sure to head on over to our website at www.SaturdayNightGamingLLC.com and check out all of our other content. Also, make sure to like, share, and subscribe on all of our social media platforms. And as always, I hope you have a fantastic week. Until next time, this is Laura Hibbard with Saturday Night Gaming.